Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network. Welcome to Gun Sports Radio, all about shooting, hunting, self-defense, and more. Now, here are the hosts of Gun Sports Radio, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
All right, folks, welcome to Gun Sports Radio. Don't forget to visit our new website, www.gunsportsradio.com. And don't forget to tune in every Sunday, 4 to 5. Tell all your friends. We want to thank Gun Range San Diego for all their support, 7853 Balboa Avenue in San Diego, 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Go to gunrangesandiego.com for all your benefits, discounts, and you can even join their club as well. Michael Schwartz is in the house, and you have a very, very special guest on the line. I know he's time sensitive, so why don't you rock and roll?
Absolutely. On the line, we have Commander David Myers. He's spent 30-plus years in law enforcement, specifically with the San Diego County Sheriff's Department, and he's running for sheriff against current Sheriff Gore. And we wanted to have him in to ask him a couple of questions. Dave, are you on the line?
I am here, and thanks for having me on, Mike.
You bet. Thank you. Okay, so Dave, we're going to jump right in and ask you the question that everybody wants to know. When elected sheriff, if you're a San Diego County sheriff, if a CCW applicant passes their criminal background check, it's confirmed they're not under investigation, and they complete the requested safety and firearms law class, as sheriff, will you issue them a CCW using personal protection or self-defense as their good cause?
So, Mike, I want to be very, very clear about this because this does seem to be coming up during the campaign, and my answer is absolutely yes. And I want to qualify with that. I am really at odds with Bill Gore's flawed and tortured attempt to deny law-abiding citizens the right to self-protection. And he literally has wasted millions of taxpayers' dollars trying to fight law-abiding citizens when he should be spending much of that energy, say, combating hate crimes, which have tripled.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I think that's about as clear as it gets, as far as your CCW policies. And as you know, so you've been in law enforcement for 30+ years.
So I've been with the San Diego County. I've been a member of the San Diego County Sheriff's Department for 32 years.
Okay.
My campaign is about transparency, accountability, and this is one of the areas in which, as the elected sheriff, I think the CCW issue should be a transparent process. It should be a process that is inclusive, not exclusive, and it should be, let's say, one of the things I'm thinking about is bringing in individuals from the community to help with the process of screening. It should not be a mystery. It should not alienate law-abiding citizens, and it should not waste taxpayers' money.
Okay, that's totally clear, and that's fantastic. Well, by the way, what is your website if people want to learn more about your campaign?
So thanks for asking. So it's Dave Myers, and Myers is spelled M-Y-E-R-S. Dave Myers 4 FOR sheriff.com.
And when is the election? When's the sheriff election?
So the election is tied to the gubernatorial race, which is June of 2018. And since there's only going to be two of us in the race, it will be decided in June.
Fantastic. So if people want to vote for you, they would have to do that in June.
I would strongly encourage everybody to go to the website, visit the website, sign up for email updates, and if your listeners out there, if they agree with what I'm talking about, then I need their help to help get that message out. You can go to my Facebook page, sign up on the Facebook page and like it, send it to your friends. That's all very helpful.
So after 32 years in law enforcement, what brought you to the conclusion about why are you at odd? You know, Gore has one opinion, you have another opinion. Obviously, we favor yours. What brought you to that position after 32 years in law enforcement?
Yeah, I've been in law enforcement 32 years. I'm 55 years old. I could retire yesterday and enjoy my 32 years. And so that's not why I got into law enforcement 32 years ago. We continued to see a growing divide between law enforcement and the community. We are seeing a twofold increase in hate crimes. We're seeing unaddressed suicides occurring in our detention facilities. And we have a leader that is weak on all of those issues, including the CCW issues, by not standing up for the deputies, not standing up for the public, and not standing up to be the true law enforcement leader in this community that the sheriff should be. I saw an opportunity. I was encouraged by a lot of folks to do it. And so then I decided to step in and run for sheriff and make a difference.
Hey, Dave, this is Lance Pelkey. I really appreciate you coming on. I'll tell you what, I'm certainly going to go to your website, and I would typically vote Republican, but the fact that you're, on the right side of this deal, you can't vote unless you're alive. So I appreciate you coming on the show, and I'm definitely throwing my support your way.
Thank you, Lance. Thank you. Pass the word.
Yeah, and I'm right there as well. And like I said, I'm sure that this is only the beginning of your campaign, and if there's anything we can do from our end, we're more than happy to do so. Because I think that's extremely important. Because the last two sheriffs have not really cared a lot about their constituents. And I think you're probably the first one that I've seen anyway, in the time I've been in San Diego, that at least is looking at this in an intelligent fashion. You're not prejudging anybody. You're going to look at whatever the paperwork they're going to submit. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I think that's all we here in the public are asking for.
Yeah, in California, it's you purchase a handgun in California, it's a 10-day waiting period. You go through an electronic federal background check. And as was described earlier, you then come into the sheriff's department and you go through an extensive background check conducted by the sheriff's department, which is on the ground here in the community, talking to your friends, your neighbors, your employer. And then you have to demonstrate a proficiency in using the selective handgun that you're going to carry for personal protection. And then so above and beyond everything that is required at the federal level in California, the sheriff puts you through, and then you come in and say, I need it for self-protection or self-defense. It's beyond me why law-abiding citizens that want to protect themselves continuously are denied the right to do so. And we're wasting millions of dollars in taxpayers' money.
Yeah. And we were talking on the way up here, Mike Schwartz and I, real quick, that whole thing in London, as terrible as that was, you're out having dinner with your wife or whatever the case may be. Next thing you know, some person's, running a truck, mowing all these people down. People jump out, 3 big guys with big knives, and they're stabbing people. And then, they know they're going to have their way for at least 5 to 8 minutes before finally, someone shows up. But you're dead. So you only have one life. And so as you're doing your campaign and people are on the other side really aren't understanding that, I think they don't really have a grasp, but you just have one life and law enforcement can't be there.
Right. And as we started the show, I was obligated to another event, and I'm going to have to step back into the room here in just a second. So,
no problem. Thank you very much, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Mike, and thanks to everybody else. I do appreciate the opportunity, and I do appreciate the offer, and please encourage all your viewers to go to the website and sign up.
Rattle it off one more time. What's the website?
Website is DaveMyersForSheriff.com. Dave Myers, MYERS, FOR Sheriff.com.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, and thank you for your service. Michael?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave. So Lance brought up a really interesting point about, Lance usually votes Republican. Dave Myers is a Democrat, and that's one thing we really wanted to. Yeah,
what?
He's a Democrat, I know, and he's the one that's pro CCW in the race, apparently. Wow. So we wanted to talk, we wanted to find out a little bit more about how many people who are Republican or whatever their party is, how many people, first off, think that CCWs are important in this sheriff's race, and then would they cross party lines? So we actually did a survey of members and non-members, people that get our newsletter, San Diego County Gun Owners Newsletter, and we're going to publish the results of this tomorrow. But we found some interesting things. We had 744 people, both members and non-members, respond, and we asked them a bunch of questions. First off, only 68% of them were Republican. So it's not like, every single one of them were Republican. Only 68% were Republican, about 5% were Libertarian, and then there were about 16% undecided, and the rest were Democratic. And we asked, how important is this? How important is our CCWs when you're voting for sheriff? 90% said it was important. Only 2 people said that. I'm sorry,
2%.
It was 99%. I'm sorry, 99%. Over 99% said that, it's extremely important. Only 2 people that responded said that it wasn't, so it was less than 1%. And we asked people, would you vote for a candidate for San Diego County Sheriff who refuses to issue CCWs using self-defense, personal protection to meet the state's requirement of good cause? No was 91%. 91%.
Wow.
And then the last question we asked was, would you vote for a candidate for San Diego County Sheriff who issues CCWs using self-defense, personal protection to meet the state's requirement of good cause, even if they did not share your political party affiliation? So would you cross party lines?
Absolutely.
Would you cross party? Well, about 92% said yes, absolutely, we'll cross party lines.
That's amazing. All right, we're going to have to take a quick break. And, hey, Steve Spurkoff out there at Bon Giovanni's, I ran into him last night. Great car builder. Turns out he loves guns.
Okay.
So he told me he was going to tune in, and I told him I would give him a shout-out.
Yeah, good.
And if anybody wants good Italian food, it's either Lance's House or Bon Giovanni's. I don't know which one.
I like it.
We're going to take a small break. We're right here on Gun Sports Radio. We'll be right back.
AM 1170, The Answer.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. Gun Sports Radio, show 44. Thanks to Lance and his ability to count. We want to thank Trident Gunsmithing for all their support. Go to TridentGunsmithing.com, TridentGunsmithing.com. The place is really, they got their doors open. They can sell ammunition. They can sell guns. They got fabulous training. And Dan is their gunsmith. And oh, my goodness, he has done wonderful things for everybody in this room that I'm aware of. TridentGunsmithing.com, TridentGunsmithing.com. And don't forget, Mark David Myers on your ballot for sheriff. And we're going to say that every single day, right up to when they do the elections. If you care anything about concealed weapons, this is the man you want in office. All right. Well, John Dillon normally calls in from Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance. He's your one-stop law lawyer. www.calfirearmslaw.com. That's calfirearms.com. CAFIREARMS law.com. So make sure you definitely check out John if you need any help at all, 760-431-9502. So we're going to throw the ball back into Mr. Schwartz's hands, and I guess you're going to throw it over to Manny.
Sure. Well, we had a really cool event. You know, one of the things that we do, we've over the last year and a half since San Diego County Gun Owners has started, is we get people who've never touched a gun before, or maybe they just aren't really into shooting. Mm-hmm. They have very, very limited experience. And we pair them up with somebody who's very experienced. We get them out onto the range, give them a safety briefing, and we get them a first-time shooting experience. And we call them shooting socials. And a lot of groups focus on different demographics, women, whatever. Mm-hmm. But we focus on colleagues, so people that work together. And Saturday we had our medical professionals. These are doctors and nurses and lab techs and that sort of thing that all work together in the same medical field. And Manny was one of our volunteers. And Manny, that was your first.
That was the first time I participated in that kind of a program there at the range.
What did you think? How did we do?
First time you went to a social.
First time I went to a gun social. Actually, you know what? It was a fantastic. It was a good eye opener for me in reference to some of the people that were coming out there. Eye
opener for you. Now that's saying a lot, my man.
Seeing some people that are coming out there at least had the courage and the interest to come out and see what gun handling is all about, or gun shooting. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them were extremely untrained. And having some experienced shooters guide them along the ways, the correct way to handle a firearm, I think is phenomenal. And I think it's a very good program that we have going out there. We're going to keep it going, hopefully.
Oh, absolutely. We've trained over 600 people. We're starting to lose count, by the way. We got to put a better system in to figure out how many, but we're over 600 people trained. And you're a professional gun guy. You're an instructor. From your professional point of view, as far as safety and training, how do you think it went?
You know what? I think the way it was all put together, the safety, the way we were advised to kind of handle the first-time shooters, because it wasn't really a class. It was just kind of to guide them to put a gun in their hand.
Kind of like a social.
And just get an experience, first time pulling the trigger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now where did you do this, Michael?
We did it at a range in Poway, but we do them all over.
Does this a benefit of belonging to San Diego County gun owners?
We actually, so it's a low price for the mentors. It's $50 a head. Or I'm sorry, for the students, $50 a head for the students. But that's break even. That you get your eye and ear protection, you get your target, your range time, your safety briefing. You get 50 rounds. You show up.
Oh, it includes ammo.
Yeah, it includes ammo for $50, and that's a couple hours of instruction. You get basically you show up in sensible shoes and a high neck shirt, and we take care of everything else. You get your safety briefing, your mentor, your firearm, everything, soup to nuts.
High neck shirt.
What's you don't want the brass to go down into your shirt. That's a bad day.
I think you should go as Elvis.
Yeah,
he'll definitely get your attention. Well, because it's all about safety,
right?
And people wouldn't even think about that,
right?
And the closed toe shoes, same thing,
right?
Because you can't control brass.
Exactly.
Even though the government's trying.
Yeah, they're trying real hard. And then we, after they learned how to shoot on a pistol, we had them shoot a few rounds on an AR. We had them shoot a few rounds on a shotgun.
For $50.
For $50. And then there was even more. We had a contest. Everybody picked an envelope that was folded in half. So it was about a 4-inch by 4-inch envelope.
A little bit smaller than that. It was probably 2.5 by 2.5.
2.5 by 2.5?
It was pretty small.
And what was it, 20 feet?
10 yards.
10 yards.
10 yards. 30 feet.
And if they hit it, they got to keep the money that was inside of it.
With a bullet hole in it.
It's
great.
And some of them had 1s, 5, 10, 20, and there was one with a $100 bill, but nobody hit the one with the $100 bill.
Really?
So I think it was 5 people hit the.
There was 5 people, and I think the biggest winner out of that whole group was the $20 winner.
No kidding.
So basically, got half his money back. Going out there, enjoyed a couple hours of shooting,
and they didn't care.
Learned something.
If they could have hit the envelope, they were probably thrilled.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What were they using to shoot?
Whatever they were shooting.
What did you bring?
I brought a 9mm. There was people that brought out there. I think I heard somebody had a 45, and a couple 22s were out there.
Yep.
So you bring your own firearm.
The mentors are all members of San Diego County gun owners. These are people that want to help make a difference.
So they brought the weapons,
right? They volunteer their time and they come out and they bring their personal firearm. So that's because they're most comfortable with teaching with their personal firearm.
Makes good sense. Yeah.
And it's no cost to them. We take care of everything. All they do is show up and do the fun part.
Wow!
And as members of San Diego County gun owners. It's a fantastic program, and they get to actually, bring people into the shooting sports.
Well, I was talking to 2 ladies last night at Bon Giovanni's. I was picking up some dinner, and of course, I'm talking about it, and the one girl says, she said, she's telling me what kind of gun she has, and unfortunately, she carries it around in her car because she doesn't trust anybody. And then I was telling her about our guest that was coming on today.
Yeah.
So I says it might behoove you to take a listen to the show, and I didn't know that much about Mr. Meyer, so I'm glad that hopefully that person is listening in. But I don't know about you guys, but everybody I talk to about not only our show, but Gun Range San Diego, not a negative word yet. And I talk to a lot of people, and half the people at the Bon Giovanni's come up to Gun Range San Diego. Great. So, so I didn't. It encourages me to talk to more and more people that I don't even know about it. Mm-hmm. And if they're a little bit questionable, then it's a golden opportunity for me to explain it. And the best thing to do is I just drive them to the show.
Well, just Saturday night after, so we went and did the class on Saturday morning, and then Saturday night I actually was presented by the board. Lance, being one of the people on the board, was presented with a new Colt revolver, and my wife and I went Saturday night to the range to shoot it for the first time, which was awesome.
It's never been shot.
Never been shot.
You shot it?
Oh, heck yeah, man. Guns are made to be shot.
We had to knock the cobwebs off.
That's great.
They were made to be shot. It was wonderful. But what happened
What'd you think of it?
Oh, it was wonderful.
Single action?
It was single action, Colt, single action Army. It was amazingly cool. It was very cool. It was so easy to shoot, and it was a lot of fun. But that's not even the story. The story is I was standing there, and a guy turned around and said, "Hey, I know this man." And he pointed at me and he said, "You're on the radio. You're on the radio." And he said, "Oh, and I was wearing a San Diego County Gun Owners shirt." And he said, "Yeah, that organization. You're with that organization." Yeah. But apparently he listens to us.
Sure.
And, and the first thing I asked him was, "You a member?" He said, "Well, yeah." So hopefully he is now.
Well, and that's really what it's about. I've had people literally on the street tell me that our show, and I'm not bragging, our show is the best thing they've ever heard when it comes to this topic. We're not shoving it down your throat. We're not telling you what to do or what you shouldn't do. We're just trying to give you information to make your own decision.
Yeah,
but we're giving you the tools to do so.
Yeah.
Whether it be vote for Dave Myers, whether it be go to Gun Range San Diego, whether it is to fire a particular weapon that Hollywood would probably come in and tell us all about. It's all about education.
And getting involved. We're really, truly creating a community. And by the way, this summer, San Diego County Gun Owners is having a membership drive. And we're giving people the opportunity, especially members, to tell other people, hey, get involved. And we're going to have a tap takeover at Mike Hess Brewery. And we're going to have San Diego County Gun Owners Day at the Padres. We're going to go to a Padres game and have a whole section of San Diego County Gun Owners folks. And we're having guest speakers at our meetings. There's all kinds of things, all kinds of ways to get involved. We're having our members-only barbecue at the end of July on a private range. But if, there's all kinds of ways to get your friends, your circle of influence involved and help us create this community.
Absolutely.
That existed. We just haven't pulled it together.
Just fragmented is all.
Exactly.
Hey, Mike, why don't you touch on, let's say we have some of our listeners out there that want to maybe get involved in one of these socials in the future.
Yep.
How can they do that? Because I know we had this last social was actually a medical professional, so there's probably some sort of a tight-knit group there that branched out and got them involved. But let's say we have somebody out there that just doesn't want to go to a crowded gun range, and it's their first time shooting. Although they are welcome at the Gun Range San Diego, we will take care of you if you come out there. But if they wanted to come to one of those socials and get involved, just get a little slight taste of what it's like to handle a firearm.
Right. And that's how we describe it. We actually say this isn't a 101 class. It's an intro to. You need to go take the class. You need to go see guys like Manny at the Gun Range San Diego. You need to take the class, a half-day, full-day, or multi-day class to really know what you're doing. But to get involved with us, whether you want to be a mentor or you want to organize a shooting social or you want to be a part of a shooting social, however you want to get involved, the best way to do it is go to SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com and send us a message. Say, hey, this is what I'm interested in. We have a calendar at the website, and again, SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com. We have our calendar. We have past events and us in the media and all kinds of information on the organization and how to get involved. There's even a section in there on if you want to volunteer, here are some specific events that you can volunteer at, and we have contact information and all that stuff on the website.
All right, and make sure you join the San Diego County Gun Owners as well. Hey, we're going to take a small break. Don't forget, you can listen to this show anywhere in the world. Just download the KCBQ app. Definitely go to our website to download it and like us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/gunsportsradio / You can even listen to us on iHeartRadio.com and on the computer at www.kcbqam1170.com.
AM 1170. The Answer.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. This is Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170. I'm Dave. He is Lance. Hey, you have got to visit our website. Man, Aaron knocked that rascal out of the park, folks. www.gunsportsradio.com. You can also email us at info@gunsportsradio.com, www.info@gunsportsradio.com. And we definitely want to thank all of our sponsors, and for sure our listeners. And again, gunsportsradio.com. Check it out. All right. Well, normally Hollywood would be up, but he is not here today. In fact, we have Manny in the house, and Manny is the head trainer, aren't you, over at Gun Sports Radio?
Range master there.
Range master, as they say. Yeah. And he is going to chat with us. Guns Range San Diego is a sponsor. If you've not been to Gun Range San Diego, you've missed out. It is the Nordstrom's of gun ranges. 7853 Balboa Avenue, where customer service is number one from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. And sitting right behind that is safety. That's why you need to go to Gun Range San Diego. Whether you've shot before, never shot before, just feel a need, want to get educated, don't know what to shoot, because, there's only as many weapons out there as there are hairs on your head, and you got to have the right one that fits your needs. Well, the folks at Gun Range San Diego can do that. Every employee in there can put you into the right situation, and for training, I highly recommend, and Gun Sports Radio highly recommends Manny. So you can ask for him. He's not any more expensive than Hollywood, but he won't talk as much.
Thank you, Dave.
Think nothing of it. And you won't talk as much as Hollywood. But you know how that goes. In fact, it ruined poor old Hollywood's voice. He couldn't even make it in today.
Love you, baby.
Poor Joe. He's got there with his he's got his throat lozenges, and he's still rocking it. Gun Range San Diego. Check him out. So, what you got for us today, Manny?
Well, we got to let you know a couple specials we got going that are probably going to end the end of today. This is the last weekend. We reintroduced our specials on our Glocks. Mm-hmm. Right now, Glocks are going out the door at $469. That's a big discount from the regular price. Additionally, we're blowing out the Springfield XD9 or the XD40 at $399. That's a $100 savings off of that gun. Additionally, if you buy that gun, Springfield is offering a great coupon or a redemption that you can redeem by the end of the month, this month, the end of June, where if you purchase a brand new Springfield firearm, you'll get an additional 4 magazines for that particular firearm, a holster, and a magazine pouch, which is about $180 value when it's all said and done. Which is so you kind of walk away at $399 if you're going to get the XD9 or 40. You're going to get about almost $280 off the overall price.
And,
that's great.
And I was just, Manny and I were talking earlier, I was just at Gun Range San Diego before I came to the show, and I was sitting there waiting. They had, quite a few people there. And by the way, folks, they're open until 10 o'clock tonight. And that deal they have on those XDs is fabulous. So if you're thinking about one, now's the time. Mm-hmm. Strike while they are hot. Plus, that one comes with 2 magazines already?
Comes with 2 magazines already, correct.
And then they're going to, for that redemption deal, you're going to get another 4 magazines plus a holster.
Plus a holster and a mag pouch.
I mean,
goodness gracious.
Stick a fork in you guys got to get down. You got till 10 o'clock at night, and then that deal's then they're going to shut off. Now,
and if you're not comfortable with the Glock, just going down to buying it, you want to shoot it, you can do that too.
You can shoot a Glock also.
You shoot a Glock.
Shoot a Glock XD. They have the XD in the rental fleet too.
You can shoot the Springfield XD in 9 or in 40.
Right.
So we have a whole
deals are good, but you got to make sure it's the gun that you want. It's not all about the deal. It's got to make sure it fits your needs.
Yeah,
correct.
You could test drive it tonight before you actually
purchase
before you actually buy it. Plus, I guess the deal also for if you're just looking at another Springfield. They have the Springfield deal itself, so you buy any Springfield and you get the 4 magazines and the
correct. That redemption is good for any Springfield product.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right.
So I think I'm looking at another Springfield.
You think? Well, you probably need one.
I do.
Which one are you looking at?
I love 45s, and I have that SIG 45, and it's really cool because when you go out to the with Bill DC and Lance and other folks, and you're shooting those metal targets, and the other guys are shooting the 9s, which I have a lot of 9s and I like.
Yeah.
But when I shoot that SIG 45, it knocks them down.
Oh, you like that?
It just is fabulous. So I'm looking at the MC operator.
The Springfield MC operator, the green one. Yeah, those are nice.
It's just it's not the real top of the but that's, good enough for me. And they're supposed to be just absolutely fabulous.
They're phenomenal firearms, phenomenal firearms. I'm a 45 kind of guy anyhow. But, if it is your first firearm, like I said, go back and either getting that Glock or that Springfield XD. Oh, yeah. Those are one of the 2 guns that I teach my classes with. So for first-time shooters, that's what I'm going to put you on.
Right.
Just to get you activated.
And how much is that XD again? It's
The XD is going to go for $399. That's $100 off our regular price.
I mean, come on. I mean, you'd be spending $500-600 easy on anything else. Plus, when you buy all that other stuff, so to have all in for that price is an amazing deal. So
interesting. Well, I do have a question for you, Manny. Back in the 60s when I was in the military and you were issued a military .45, they weren't very accurate.
Well, the tolerances weren't there.
Is it better today? Are the .45s today better?
Well, the 1911 has been around for well over 100 years.
Since 1911.
It was since 1911. It was designed in 1909 by John Browning. So put in full production in the year 1911. So it's gone through pretty much the tail end of World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam War, and they're back. Everybody's making them now.
Well, the reason I brought it up is because I acquired sharpshooter with a .45. And a lot of people said that it was a tough gun to shoot, and it's a tough gun to qualify.
Well, you know what? You got to hang on to it. So if a lot of guys go out there with a .45 and they're not really grasping that .45 firmly,
I must have been grabbing it
firmly, and you're going to encourage them. It's not. It needs to be set and straight for it to operate properly.
Gotcha.
And also too, there's some differences too on some of these aftermarket .45s. So, and I'm not really good on the parts, but you just below the barrel's a little rail.
The recoil.
The recoil.
Well, you're talking about the flashlight adapter on there.
Well, or the rail.
Accessory rail.
Yeah. Well, operating part of the gun. I can't remember what it's called.
Recoil spring.
But they're longer. Like on this operator, for instance, they're longer, so it'll help with the recoil a lot better.
Gotcha.
Also, too, where the ejection port, they make them bigger. So in the old days, they would stovepipe more often. They get stuck.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I know it's been around since 1909, but it's got to be.
So they tweaked them.
Improved.
So they improve them. They tweak them. The tolerances are better, and on the stuff you can get out. But I think just what I've heard from the military guys that were just shooting the they're not using .45 so much anymore.
No, they got rid of the military's evolved everywhere from the 1911. They went back to the Beretta.
Right.
Now they went to the SIG. The spec ops kind of guys were running the SIG. Now they went into Glocks, and now Sig Sauer with their Strike-A-Fire gun has now won the bid on the new issue firearm for the military.
That's going to be nice for those guys. Let me tell you.
Hey, I just got a text from one of our loyal listeners. His name is Mark, and Mark's been here with us before, and he's the one also went up to Pahrump that I meant.
Oh,
Pahrump.
Yeah.
So he just texted me, and he said, hey, I got one of those XD9s last week from Hollywood.
That would be Hollywood.
Yeah, good for you, Mark. Man, that is a screaming deal, isn't it? So anyway, pretty cool.
So I'm going to tell you, if we have a whole bunch load of those in stock. I don't know how many we have in stock today as we speak. But if we don't have it in stock, go on in there, put your money down for it, and we get them in almost weekly. So we'll, you can put your money down, get the deal, and then as soon as if the gun's not in stock, we will have it for you.
And you'll honor the.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But you got to pay for it before the end of the day.
Well, yeah, and then you need to start your 10-day paperwork. And get all that.
10-day paperwork will start when your gun comes into the store.
Oh,
we need that serial number, correct?
Oh, I gotcha. So okay, good deal. And how long does it normally get a gun in?
We're getting them in weekly, so it's just depending on what the supply is. I mean, like I said, we've probably sold hundreds of those guns.
Wow.
And we got a couple of minutes. Manny, can you give us a little bit of your background?
Oh, okay. I'm retired law enforcement, just under 26 years.
Here in town?
Right here. I basically retired from Chula Vista Police Department. Came out here to California, to actually San Diego, via the Navy. Started off as a helicopter mechanic, and then I got tired of working and fingers being all cut up and greasy, so I went into law enforcement. While in law enforcement, I did 10.5 years on a tactical team, basically a SWAT team. Also did majority of my career work in narcotic enforcement, so did a couple federal task forces. Actually worked for our sheriff, Bill Gore, when he was in charge of the FBI here in San Diego. I worked at a task force under him. So I have a lot of experience doing serving search warrants and high risk entry type work.
Sure. High risk entry. He's kicking down doors, baby. Hello, I'm here.
That's when you can't
Johnny.
find the key.
That's awesome.
Anyway, we always have the universal key back there.
Yes, you did. My dad was a police officer for 30 some odd years.
Wow.
And his universal key was bigger than your universal key. Because back then, nobody had Facebook, social media, or any of the above.
Yeah.
There's no door that can't be knocked down.
No.
It's always great having Manny Manny on, and it's always great seeing Manny at Gun Range San Diego, and he's just been a terrific guy every time I've gone in there. That's why I met him years ago at the range, and I encourage the listeners to come down and get some training from Manny because you can get one-on-one. Yep. It's not horribly expensive, and you'll just get so much out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And most definitely along those lines, if anything, just get some training, period. Come out and see me. I'm more than welcome to share some of my knowledge with you. I still take classes from other instructors. There's nothing wrong with making that toolbox as big as you can get it with all that knowledge.
That lady I told you about that carries, she tells me, she says, the only thing I'm missing is training. I got to get back into training. I mean, I didn't say it to her. She said it to me. Well, hey, we want to throw another shout out to 511 Tactical.
Yep.
So I'm watching NHRA.
Okay. They're
sponsoring NHRA.
Isn't that great?
They're sponsoring Xfinity. They are my kind of clothing company, and I'm telling you, I love my 511 pants, shoes, boots, my vest. Oh, my God. That is by far, folks, it's probably the best clothing you're going to find for the type of activities you would do. If you're an active person and you don't want to have any problem with rips and tears, these things are awesome.
And plus, they look good when you're not active.
They do.
Yeah,
they
look really good when you're not active.
And they're comfortable.
Yeah. Get rid of those Levi's.
Yeah, I tell you, my poor Harley-Davidson pants got parked. Because I am definitely a 511 Tactical. They're right down in Mission Valley. You can't miss it. 1257 Camino del Rio South. When you go in, see any of the guys and the girls in there, tell them you heard it right here on Gun Sports Radio. Their eyes will light up and take really, really good care of you. So I just had to throw that out.
And plus, just go down there and just try them on. Even if you're not with the idea of buying anything, just try them on and you'll get sucked in.
Well, there's one shirt down there, a line of shirts. They're only in two colors, light blue and light brown. When you hold them up to the window, you can see through them. So I wore them up to Auto Club Speedway for a press event, and it was like 80 degrees. I couldn't believe how nice that shirt was. And I'm going to get me a couple more of those because they can be like dress shirts. You don't look tactical in them at all. Yeah. And then, of course, I got my tactical watch, which I absolutely love to death. I can see this thing at night now.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back,
we've got Wendy. When we come back, speaking of training, we have Wendy. So she's coming on and from
coming on.
Yeah, from Gun Range San Diego. She's also
singing.
Yeah, San Diego County Gun Owners.
Singing?
Yeah, so
hey, that's right, folks. Join San Diego County Gun Owners. It'll be a benefit that you will not regret. Just go to San Diego County GunOwners.com. $10. Come out. You can't even get breakfast for $10.
And what's Manny's website?
I don't know. What is Manny's website? Do you have a website, Manny?
No, actually, you can reach me at the gun range. So you can go to the gun range, sandiego.com. If you want to reach me directly via email, it's Manny, MANNYM, at gunrangesd.com.
All right. We're going to take a break, but before we do that, can't forget Captain John's Green Can Lockers. Bolt a simple kit onto your metal ammo can. Add your own lock. Turn it into a secure lock box that nobody will give you static about. Low-cost way to secure your ammo and other valuables. www.greencanlockers.com. greencanlockers.com. Both Lance and I have a can, and mine's totally filled with ammunition. I got the padlock on it. I don't think I could be even more secure.
Those wiener dogs can't get in it now.
They're looking, though. They're looking. Hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got maybe Wendy Hoffman, the well-armored woman.
Well-armed.
Well-armed women.
Well-armed woman.
Okay, we'll check her out when we get back right here on Gun Sports Radio, AM 1170.
AM 1170, The Answer.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back to Gun Sports Radio. I'm Dave.
I'm Lance.
And this segment's brought to you by the good folks at Trident Gunsmithing. You need your weapon looked at. Maybe you just received one from a family member and you don't know whether or not it's going to shoot or not. You don't want to take a chance. Take it over to Trident Gunsmithing. Talk to Dan or Juan. Tell them you heard it here on our radio show, and they'll be more than happy to hook you up. That's TridentGunsmithing.com. TridentGunsmithing.com. Hey, who we got on for a guest there, Mr. Lance?
You know, we've got Wendy Hoffman on, and she is a firearms instructor at Gun Range San Diego. She also is a member of the San Diego County Gun Owners, and which we dearly love because she helps out with quite a bit of stuff there. And I was talking with her the other day, and she's been on the show before. But we were talking the other day that she does a group, works with a group called Well-Armed Women here in San Diego, and so. Anyway, and she's got a nice little baby and everybody else, but I just wanted to bring her on and have her talk about, what she's doing with Well-Armed Women and just kind of, shooting groups like that here in San Diego. Wendy, are you on?
I am.
Wonderful.
Hi, Wendy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not doing too bad. I mean, we're doing radio. How much fun could that be?
Very fun, I hope.
We're going to have to get you come down here sometime.
Be happy to.
All right. So talk to us about your program.
So I'm a chapter leader for the San Diego chapter of the Well-Armed Woman. It's a national organization, 501c3, that focuses on educating, equipping, and empowering women. So we get together once a month, do a little classroom setting where we discuss different topics like creating a home defense plan, or something as simple as gun cleaning, or how ammunition works is the one we just covered this last week. So we do a little education, and then afterwards we all go out on the range together and shoot.
Wow, that sounds really cool. And have you found, because Manny and I were talking a little bit off air, that are you finding a lot more females are liking to be trained by another female, more so than by a gentleman?
Definitely. There's a lot of questions where women feel more comfortable asking women, not because they're female specific necessarily, but it can be intimidating for a woman to go into a male dominated sport and ask questions that they think might be, stupid questions or something that everybody should know, but they're not sure how to ask.
Gotcha.
Well, it's interesting. I come from the auto industry, and when I would ever hire a female service advisor, she always made more money than the guys, because the guys at home were sending their wives in with the cars to get them worked on. They didn't want to do it in the first place. So if you're going to send them in and all of a sudden they spotted a female in the service drive, that's exactly where they gravitated to. So it makes perfectly good sense. It's a comfort. It's a comfort thing.
It is. Yeah. It is. And women, one thing about women is they also tend to bring their friends. So
yes.
They bring their friends and they bring their family. So if the guy isn't, if her husband isn't a shooter, and she discovers that she really loves it, she usually actually will get the whole family involved. So women are not only the largest growing the largest growing section of the shooting industry, but also the biggest multiplier for getting new shooters in. And
so, Wendy, are you actively, trying to get more people into the group?
We are. We don't recruit heavily. We mostly do word of mouth right now because of space and personnel limitations. But we'd love to get more people involved, and we're always looking to introduce new people to the sport.
Yeah, and also too, I guess. Do you guys have a Facebook and a website for the organization?
Yeah, the main organization is TWAW for the Well-Armed Woman. TWAW shootingchapters.org.
Okay.
If you go to thewellarmedwoman.com, it's actually their retail site for how they started. They started making holsters and other female-specific products for women in the shooting industry. And somebody said, hey, I want to get some women together and go shooting. And that's how the first chapter started. And now, I think it's maybe 4 or 5 years later now, we've got over 250 chapters in every state. I think we've got 12 just in California.
Great.
Our San Diego chapter is, we just turned 3 years old, so happy anniversary to us.
That's awesome. 3 years old. I didn't know that. Congratulations. Wendy, as you said, it's kind of a male-dominated sport. As a woman and as a mom, Why is it important to you to own a gun and know how to use it?
Because it's the ultimate equalizer. You know, if I need to defend myself against a 300-pound male, yeah, there's not very many options for me other than being very, very good at some sort of martial art or a gun.
So taking a box of donuts away isn't going to be the helpful tip?
Yeah. I'll throw the donut in the other direction.
He'll go chase it.
They'll go that way.
I love it. So is there a fee to join your group?
The annual membership is $50, and that goes to the national organization that helps cover administrative costs and gives our specific chapter some funds to cover certain things. And then there's also the range fees when you come to shoot. Gotcha. So that goes directly to the range.
All right. Well, it sounds like somebody really needs to jump on board and take a look at it, especially if you're a lady. And it's like I was telling these guys, I was at a restaurant last night picking up some food, and I ran into 3 ladies that I knew, and they would just be thrilled to death. They're listening as we speak. To find an organization like yours. So hopefully they'll give you a call or go to the website and get hooked up. One of the girls, she looked at me and she says, my only problem is I don't have enough practice. And you don't normally hear somebody say that they're lacking in practice. And so that told me she knew exactly what she needed and she knew what she was talking about. So, so hopefully.
Yeah, and one thing that women do a lot is they get busy, especially with kids and all the scheduling and all that stuff. So I really enjoy the setting because it reminds women to go to the range once a month. Mm-hmm. And I recommend a lot more practice than that, but sometimes it's not feasible. So that one hour a month can at least refresh some skills and keep you up to date.
Better than nothing.
Now, Wendy, also let us know what other programs you got going on besides the well-armed women. I know you're teaching a class down there at the gun range.
Well, I'll tell you what, we don't have a whole lot of time left, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have everybody go to the well-armed women's website. And what's that address again one more time?
The national one is twshootingchapters.org, or you can find our San Diego chapter at facebook.com/TWAWSD.
All right. Wendy, thank you very much for taking time out of your day and calling in. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Wendy.
You're very welcome.
And we'll get you back on again when you got more things coming down the pipe.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. And, hey, before we go, first I want to thank Manny for taking time out of his day and coming in and filling Joe's Hollywood's shoes. That's a tough job. We definitely want to thank our sponsors, Gun Range San Diego, Trident Gunsmithing, Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance, LLP. That is your gun lawyer. 511 Tactical, Captain John's Green Can Lockers. And then, of course, when you want to find out more about us, and if you maybe want to ask us a question or give us a suggestion, go to www.info@gunsportsradio.com. You can also check out our new website at gunsportsradio.com as well. Oh, my gosh, is it wonderful. And Facebook is www.facebook.com/gunsportsradio/. We're always open for suggestions and ideas, and we want to keep you safe, so we'll talk to you down the road. This is AM 1170, The Answer.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.